Hey, what's up everybody, Retro Gaming Guy here. Today in this video I'm going to show you guys around the craziest PC gaming build I've ever seen in my entire life. This comes from RetroBeast. It's 96 terabytes. That's right, I said 96 terabytes. It takes 6 drives to actually put this entire thing together. I'm going to show you guys around how this comes and also what it includes. Now expect to see some crazy stuff on here like PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, Wii U, and so much more. Let's dive into it. Alright guys, here we have our Orico 3.5 inch external hard drive enclosure. Inside here we have 5 different hard drives, all of which are 16 terabytes each. And then we also have this 16 terabyte hard drive as well. This is going to be your main drive. You installed this one internally. The rest can connect to your PC via USB 3 connection. So 6 times 16, 96 terabytes in total from Chris Cool, RetroBeast. And if we actually turn this around, it is very heavy. You can see we have a cooling fan in the back. We also have a power on-off switch here, power supply right here, and then this is our connection to the PC, USB 3 connection right here. So plug this into a USB 3 port. Typically they'll be on the back side of your PC, but every PC is different. So we're going to go ahead and connect everything and boot this up. Alright, so here we are booted up into this 96 terabyte PC setup. So we land here on Arcade Classic, but let's go through all of these different categories. We have Arcade Classic right here. Love the background. We have Arcade Board. We have Arcade PC. We have Console, so all of our console collections. We have Handheld collections. We have Computer collections, VR game collections, PC games, Pinball over here. After Pinball, we have Game Manual, which is really cool to be able to just kind of scroll through different game manuals. We have Custom Collections, we have Homebrew, we have Hyperspin, we have Settings, we have Entertainment here, so that's where we can access Kodi and stuff like that. We have our power button. This is going to be how we actually shut this down. So we're going to go over here now. We have Imports. Now imports, we'll actually dive into imports first because it's a very quick category to dive into. So if we go in here, just like the title suggests, it's all of your imported collections. So everything outside of the United States. So we can scroll through here. I'm not going to jump into each one, but we have Dreamcast. We have lots of great stuff. N64, Family Computer, Famicom, the Game Boys, Nintendo GameCube, and you can see Nintendo GameCube Japan, 3DS Japan, 3DS eShop Japan, DS Japan, PlayStation Japan, PS2 Japan, PS3 Japan, PSP Japan, and so on through the Sega collections. Lots of great stuff here. So if you're looking for stuff that is outside of the United States, this is the place to go. And we also have Nintendo Switch Japan, which is really cool. Wii Japan, love the logo there. And Xbox 360 Japan. And let's actually just jump into one of these just so you get a feel for what the layout looks like. We'll go into Dreamcast, and here is how everything looks. You can see this one has 329 titles for Dreamcast, so just a massive collection of games on here. And you can see how each one looks. Now you're not going to get a video preview for every title. You're going to get a screenshot there from the game. So you can see a little bit of the gameplay, but we also have logos there on the right-hand side. So really an awesome layout here. So we're going to back out. We're going to get out of imports all together here. And I'm going to try to just kind of run through this as quickly as possible. This is 96 terabytes yet again. So it's absolutely massive. This is not going to be a short video to try to cram everything in. So here's Arcade Classic. This is where we land when we actually boot up. Here we have MAME. Love this screen that RetroBeast has put together with all the different, video previews from different collections. Some of my favorite titles are actually right here. WrestleFest, for example, one of my favorite games of all time. So we'll actually jump into MAME, and the attention to detail here is absolutely phenomenal. Take a look at the arcade cabinet there. That populates in differently for every single title. So if we go down here and we look for, let's go to Alien 3, the gun. Take a look at that. We have the guns on there. Everything looks, just like it would on the original cabinet. I love that it's not just a stock cabinet where, you get different video preview, obviously, for each title, but this just creates just such a clean look to it. Look at the, control deck here and every single option here. Let's go into Altered Beast. Everything populates in differently, so you can go into your favorite games here, and it just creates this awesome nostalgic experience for you. Really cool stuff. So 3,628 games in the MAME collection. So again, massive. We have MAME favorites over here to the right. We have 4-player games, and it's just a great way to actually further explore games within this collection. So arcade multiplayer, clones, kids to adults, just a bunch of different, specific collections. So we can go into platform shooters, beat 'em up style. So if you're just in the mood for, a puzzle game, you come in here and you take a look at all the puzzle games. If you're looking for shooting games, if you're looking for fighting games, racing games, etc., you just come in here and you can easily explore what this has to offer. We also have it broken down by developers. We have Capcom here, we have Data East here, I'm sure we have some Midway in here, Konami in here, there's Midway right there, Namco, Neo Geo, Nintendo, just tons of amazing stuff here, Sega, all this classic arcade stuff. So we're going to back out. And now if we go over here to arcade board, take a look at what we have inside here. We're going to let this load in real quick. So we go through here and we have it laid out very nicely. So Thomas Wave, Capcom 1, 2, and 3. Just lots of really cool stuff. Daphne, of course, classic. Fightcade, Sega Model 1, 2, 3 should be over here. There we go. Naomi, lots of great stuff. And Technoparrot, that is some really cool stuff that I personally haven't gotten into as much as I'd like to, but there's so many amazing games in here. So let's actually take a look at this, because I know people are always asking about Technoparrot and what builds like this have to offer. So we'll take a look in here and just kind of scroll through this. We have Big Buck Hunter Arcade, which you can also get for like Wii and stuff like that, but lots of really cool stuff here. This is one people are always asking me about, Star Trek Voyager. Really an amazing title there. Target Terror is really cool too. Time Crisis 5. Terminator Salvation. Really an amazing title there. Tomb Raider. A lot of stuff that I'm actually not familiar with, but a lot of stuff that does ring a bell as well. So I remember being at the movie theater all the time playing Terminator Salvation. Of course, Time Crisis 5. Lots of great stuff here. So we're going to back out of this collection, and there's other ones too. There's also Technoparrot Racing over here, regular, just a lot of great stuff yet again. So we'll continue on through here. Atari. If I see Indiana Jones, I got to jump into it. So Temple of Doom, this is an awesome game. Old school game, of course, but really an awesome one here. Love the arcade setup there. So just tons of really cool ways to dive into classic stuff. Judge Dredd over here in the Capcom, Data East, just tons and tons of amazing stuff. So we're going to back out of this collection. We're going to go on to the next one, which is another awesome one, Arcade PC. So let's take a look at what Arcade PC has to offer for us. So we have PC Arcade here, and then we have it broken down into a bunch of smaller collections here. So we have Clone Hero, you're going to find your Rock Band, your Guitar Hero, all that good stuff in here. Flash games, you're going to have all this cool stuff. Lucas Arts, one of my favorites in here. Look at all these classic games. Like, this is my childhood right here. All the Monkey Island titles. And there's special editions. There's Full Throttle, which is an awesome one as well. Tons of great stuff here. So we'll back out of LucasArts. New Retro, 80s Overdrive, Open Bore. Huge fan of Open Bore. I've talked about that in the past. Side-to-side sort of beat-em-up style games there. RPG games. Run and Gun. Tekken 7. Just an insane amount of great stuff here. So we're going to back out of this one again. Now, next collection over is what I am most excited about and what really blows me away here. This is your console collection. So literally everything is in here. And when I say everything, I mean everything. I mean, look over here. We're going backwards here, but Series X and it's pretty stacked here. So we have 47 titles for Xbox Series X, which is not an old console. I mean, this is the most current console, so I didn't even know that emulation was possible for this, but it is, and I have tested these out. They do work. So we got Forza Horizon 4, 5. We've got Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy here. We've got all the Halo stuff. Halo 3, ODST. We have 4. We have, I believe this is the anniversary one, Halo Infinite. Just tons and tons of really amazing stuff. Now, High on Life, interesting game right there. This was actually probably the last game that I played for Series X, actually. So lots of great stuff here. And again, just blown away by the fact that this is even an option. So we are going to back out of Series X. And we're going backwards, but I don't even care. We have Xbox One X here. So if we jump in here, let's take a look at what we have. We have 139 titles here. Absolutely insane. WWE 2K20. Wolfenstein games, all of which are pretty awesome. We have Transformers in here. Just take a look at all of these awesome titles. Resident Evil's in here. Tomb Raider. Red Dead Redemption 2. Need for Speeds are in here. Need for Speed Most Wanted, the revised version, of course, or re-released version, whatever you want to call it. Minecraft's in here. Mass Effect's in here. Avengers is in here. Some of the Lego titles like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Just absolutely insane. So we are going to back out of this collection because we have a lot to see just in the console offerings alone. Xbox Live. We have Xbox 360. So how many Xbox 360 games do we have in here? Oh, just 1,103. Absolutely insane. And we have some stuff that, you know, isn't super popular, but we have all the super popular stuff too. So if you're a wrestling fan, look at all this. All of these wrestling games here. Which takes me back because I'm not, you know, the biggest fan of the most recent wrestling games. I like these older ones here that are, you know, only a few years old, but we have Wolfenstein New Order. We have just tons of great stuff. Bunch of different Wolfenstein versions, couple different titles as well. So are there duplicates? Yeah, there's a few duplicates here and there, but a lot of times it's different versions or slightly different versions. So we have UFC Undisputed here, 2009 and 2010. We have UFC 3 Undisputed. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, awesome title there. Turok, Toy Story. I know we have Tony Hawk. Yep, there we go. Tony Hawk 5. Love these games. This one right here, Rainbow Six Vegas 2, one of my favorite games. Tons and tons of stuff here. And you can see over there on the right hand side, we're only in the T titles. So we just have endless stuff here. The Simpsons game. So I'm going to back out of Xbox 360. We have Xbox DLC. We have original Xbox here. So how many original Xbox games do we have? 964. So this is one of my favorite 007 games. This one and From Russia with Love, my two favorites. 25 to Life. We've got, you know, all the Halos are in here. Alien games. Everything. I mean, 964 games. Everything for original Xbox. And they work. I've tested out tons of games on here. Everything works great. And I'm not going to be doing gameplay demos, I think, in this video, just because I know this is going to be a insanely long video because there's just so much to offer. Wii U eShop here. So if you're familiar with Wii U, and all of this stuff has been obviously, you know, starting to go away now with Wii U, this is really awesome to have. So we'll back out. Wii U doesn't get me all jazzed up, or Wii U Shop doesn't anyways. So we'll back out, but here's Wii U. Now I am a big fan of the Wii U. 209 titles here. We have 007 Legends here. Awesome title. Highly recommend it. Angry Birds Star Wars. Tons of great stuff here. The Batman games. Call of Duty. DuckTales. Your Donkey Kong Country Tropic Freeze is here. Dr. Luigi's here. Literally everything you can think of for Wii U is in here. Guitar Hero Live, that's an awesome one. So we're going to back out because we got to keep it moving. WiiWare's in here. We've got Wii, and it's broken up into light gun games over here. So if you're somebody like me that loves the loves the Wii light guns, this is an awesome collection to tap into. We also have regular Wii here. So how many Wii games are on here? 1,263. And I spent some time in this collection because I'm a huge Wii fan. Love using, original hardware as well. Wreck-It Ralph, all the WWE games, tons of great stuff in here, but I'm a huge light gun fan myself, so we are going to back out of this. Let's take a look at light gun. So if you're not familiar with what was offered for Wii light gun, tap into this collection. The House of the Dead gives you a true, original experience there. Sniper Elite, really cool game. I don't know if I'd really consider that light gun. I guess you would. Awesome stuff though. The hunting game, especially this one, Remington Great American Bird Hunt, really cool game. When I first got into that one, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was just going to be kind of a waste of time, but really enjoyed it. Link's Crossbow Training, really cool game there. Jurassic the Hunted. We've got Gunslingers, which is one of my favorite light gun, if not my favorite light gun game for Wii. Gunblade here, awesome title. GoldenEye 007. I played that actually more on PS3 than on Wii, but tons of great stuff here. So we're going to keep it moving. Virtual Boys in here. We've got Video Game Computer, Vectrex, TurboGrafx. Tons of great stuff. And I'm not going to just announce every single one of these. I got to try to speed this up a little bit, but Sega Saturn's in here. So how many Sega Saturn games? Because I know that's super popular collection. 287 for that one. We'll back out, keep it moving. And remember, we also have those imports for all of these as well. So Sega CD, tons of great stuff. 32X. So what's this one right here? PS5. That's pretty crazy. Let's take a look at what we have for PS5 on here. 65 PS5 titles. I mean, PS5 is pretty damn new. Uncharted is in here. Skyrim, of course. Ride 4 is a good one. Ninja Gaiden 2. NBA 2K21. Spider-Man Miles Morales. We also have this Spider-Man up here, which I believe is also for PS4. Hitman 3, awesome game. Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy. God of War, remastered one. Elden Ring. Doom Eternal. Cyberpunk. Tons and tons of great stuff. Biomutants on here. Aliens. So we'll back out of PS5. Amazing that that's in here. And I did test that one out. I tested out the Spider-Man games. They work great. So we have FP PS4. We have PS4 Pro. This one also tested out. Works great. 217 PS4 titles on here. And you're going to see some of the stuff that we saw for PS5 on here. But we've got WWE 2K20. 2K16's on here. Wolfenstein titles are on here. Watch Dogs. Transformers, The Hunter, Call of the Wild, big fan of this game. Spent a lot of time on that title for, I had it for Xbox, but awesome nonetheless. No matter how you play it, it's a good time. I did see, let's see, Tomb Raider's on here, Resident Evils are on here, Red Dead Redemption 2. Can't go wrong with Red Dead Redemption 2. We'll back out of PS4, so we have PS3 minis here. PSN, PS3. How many PS3 games do we have? And remember, this is regular PS3. 1,142 games. I've tested this out as well. Big PS3 fan. I've been actually diving into this the most. I've had PS3 consoles. I had it when it first came out. Didn't have a ton of games though. So with PS3 emulation, just getting better and better. This has been so much fun to dive into. We'll kind of just scroll through here real quick, but you can see 1,142 games. Everything's on here. Literally everything for PS3 is on here. Legends of WrestleMania. Just so many games that I'm super excited to dive into. I honestly just cannot wait to get in here and start playing some of these titles. So we're gonna back out. Got to keep it moving. PS2. How many PS2 titles do we have? Oh, just 1,915 or 16. Sorry. Yeah, 1,916 titles. Tons of great stuff, and yes, there's some duplicates here and there, but you can see as I scroll through here, not tons of them. Like, these look like duplicates, but they're not. This is the sequel right here, X-Men Legends 2 versus 1. Lots of WWE games. I mean, look at all these. And again, might look like they are duplicates, but there's different gear on each one of these. Crush Hour, probably the only wrestling game I never got into or liked at all. All Stars, pretty cool game. Lots of great stuff. So if you're wondering, if a certain game is included here, don't worry, it is. Massive amount of games. So PlayStation, the original, let's see what we've got. 1,791 games. It just doesn't get any better than this. It just doesn't. So backing out, we have Duck Station over here. I see that already. Duck Station, really cool way to enjoy this. So if you were in here, 1,791 as well. That one is a cool way to enjoy PlayStation titles. But continuing on, PC Engine, lots of great stuff here. N64 HD, gotta check this out. As it says right there, HD. I think we all know what HD means, but look at the previews there. These are remastered, to say the least. So WWF No Mercy. Obviously, they're not going to be the same graphic style as, a game of today, but really crisp picture there. Just insanely, remastered in so many ways. Take a look at each of these. They just look really crisp. So we're going to back out. We have regular N64 here. And how many titles in here? 299 for N64. You can see how they populate in here. Really cool way to, go through and check everything out. Got to go up here to my favorite game, though. WCW NWO Revenge. Awesome title. Backing out, we have N64 disk drive. So this is a cool one. Not a massive collection by any means, but still really cool to go in here and explore. If you're not familiar with N64 disk drive, check it out. You won't regret it. We have some Neo Geos over here. Lots of Neo Geos. Genesis, GameCube. Now, GameCube is another one of my favorites, so we got to jump in here. How many GameCube titles? 638. Massive collection. And yes, they perform perfect on here. Huge GameCube fan. I've tested out many of these. Awesome performance here. Of course, your performance is going to rely on what you are using as a PC with this as well. Don't go with, a low-end PC if you want to enjoy those high-end collections. But really cool here. I also love, of course, the background here. So this is a Thomas Wave. We have Dreamcast here. We have Dreamcast Indies, which is really cool. Let's go into regular Dreamcast, though. One of my favorite consoles of all time. 308 titles in here. And you can see how it's laid out. This is another one of my favorites here. WWF Royal Rumble. If you've watched my videos in the past, you've probably seen me play this quite a bit. Continuing on, though, tons of great stuff here. All your Atari stuff. Literally every Atari game pretty much ever made. So we're going to back out of this one. So that is everything for consoles. Not to, make it sound like there's not a whole lot there. Obviously, it is jam-packed. I mean, PS5, Xbox Series X, it's absolutely insane. Now, it gets better, though. We've got handhelds next. And by handhelds, yes, that means the biggest handheld here. Nintendo Switch. How many Nintendo Switch games do we have? Just 1,851 Nintendo Switch games. No big deal here, right? 1,851 Switch games. And you can see, they're not all going to have, scraped logos and all that stuff, because this is kind of newer with emulation, if you will. But we've got great stuff here. All your favorite titles are pretty much included on here. WWE 2K18. Lots of great stuff. All your Mario stuff, yes, it's included here. Cruisin' Blast is one that I'm a big fan of. I love those retro style, new games that still have that retro feel to them. So Cruisin' Blast, obviously the latest release in the Cruisin' franchise, but tons of great stuff here. Not just the simple titles, but the more challenging ones, the later release ones, all that good stuff here. So we are going to back out of Switch. We also have the eShop for Switch as well. So let's back out. Here we have the eShop. Let's see what we've got in here for Nintendo Switch eShop games. 3,705 games. Absolutely insane. So we'll back out of this. And I know we're kind of jumping around here, but we've got Super Game Boy. We've got PS Vita in here. How many PS Vita games? This is a collection I'm not super familiar with. 280 titles here. So again, not super familiar with the games in here. I never had a PS Vita, but I know people are really big into that. That was a later emulation collection for like Batocera and stuff that just came out fairly recently. But on here, awesome. PSP, let's see what we've got here. 790 games. And in fact, this one right here from Russia with Love, 007, is what I actually played on PSP. I think that's actually one of the only games I ever played on PSP, in all honesty. So lots of great stuff here. Take a look. Wrestling fans, you're going to love this setup. It's absolutely crazy to see how many wrestling games are on these, and it seems like every collection has a ton. So we'll back out of PSP. PSP Mini is over here. Nintendo Pokemon Mini. How many titles for this? 17 titles. So if you're a Pokemon fan, you can't go wrong here. Sega Nomad. Nintendo DS. 3DS Shop. 3DS. How many 3DS games do we have? 588 3DS games. Afterburner. Awesome title. Outrun. Love that game. And of course, these are throwbacks, but Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously, look at the graphics there. Really cool stuff. Love the background. Love everything about this. It's just so well polished. Neo Geo Pocket. Pocket Color. Mega Duck. Check that out. Mega Duck's a good time. Game Boy. Game Boy Color. Game Boy Advance. Game & Watch. Lynx. Wonder Swan Color. Tons of stuff, and here we are again back with Nintendo Switch, which I'm blown away by Nintendo Switch. Really cool to have all these games here, and yes, a lot of these are older games that were re-released for Nintendo Switch, but awesome to see exactly what is included here. And it's not all old re-released games. There's Nintendo Switch specific games, or fresh new releases, all types of good stuff here. So we are going to back out of all of this because we're not anywhere near done here. Computer. Let's go into computer and see what we have. So Computer Classics, Apple II, and then we have those custom collections here so you can further explore. But we've got Amiga. How many Amiga games? I know that was a massive collection too. 1,745, and look how that populates in there. Really cool. And again, more titles that look like duplicates. If you look at this close, you say, oh, there's a couple duplicates there. No, it's 1, 2, and 3. They just look the same here because the logos are very similar, but lots of great stuff here. And Amiga is a collection that I have gotten into recently. I wasn't gaming on it back in the day, but really a lot of really cool stuff here. And the graphics look great on here. WrestleMania, European Rampage. I don't think I've ever played that one. So again, I'm just taking you guys on the tour here and still finding new titles. And Amiga just had some really cool stuff that, I didn't even know existed. Wayne Gretzky Hockey. Awesome game. Obviously, if you're a kid, enjoying today's games, that's not going to do it for you, but really cool stuff here. So we're going to back out of Amiga, continue on here. I think this is the direction we were going. So Amstrad games, and there's tons of collections there. Apple II, Atari, Commodore 64, Macintosh. Gotta go into Macintosh. Prince of Persia. Different than most people probably remember it, right? Lots of great stuff here. Oregon Trail. Wow. I remember playing this exact version in school. And it was old back then. Battle Chess. I remember that too. So back out. It's funny just to go down memory lane here, even with stuff like this. MSX 1 and 2. So we've got Scum VM here. We've got just tons and tons of, computer collections here. I mean, Windows 98. All right, we got to jump into Windows 98. This is my stuff here. Age of Empires, Virtual Fighter. Oh man, I forgot this stuff was on Windows too. Oh wow. Turok. And I did a lot of Tomb Raider games back then too. Test Drive 4, oh my god. Shadow of, oh wow. I was a big PC gamer around that time too. Like, I didn't have as many consoles at the time, so I used to, like this right here. This was sweet. Pod Racer. Like, I didn't play the console versions of this game until years later. The Phantom Menace. Like, this is what I got into a lot of these games on back in the day. So to be able to kind of explore this is so cool. SimCity 3000. Sega Rally 95. Moto Racer. Curse of Monkey Island. There's so many versions of that. Soul Reaver. GTA 2. Remember when it used to look like that? Gangsters. That would be my type of game. Fifth Element. Oh my god, I forgot that was on here too. Diablo, of course. Daytona USA. Wow. Alright, this is taking me back. Blade Runner. I didn't even know that was on here. Wow. Alright, we gotta get out of here before I spend too much time. So you can see how you can get lost in here. I mean, I'm getting lost just going through this with you guys on a tour. So here we are. VR game is the next collection over. And I haven't tested this one out, but it looks pretty sweet. I've got to do it. And this kind of combines, different experiences, but Arkham VR, Borderlands 2 VR, that's a cool game there. Just tons of great stuff. So we're going to back out of this one again. PC games here. So this is a cool one. I'm a big 007 fan, so all that stuff is really cool. But this is, obviously modern stuff here. A lot of Yakuza stuff. X-Men. WWE. Just amazing graphics on this stuff too. Battlegrounds here. I know a lot of people love that one. I actually haven't played that. I'll have to check that one out. So we are going to back out. And now we have Pinball. I'm a big pinball fan, but this has a lot more stuff than even I'm familiar with. And I actually have a full virtual pinball machine, but I don't have, and I don't have all of this stuff anyways. So we have Pinball Arcade here, which is pretty cool. And this kind of brings older tables to modern day sort of gaming here. You can see, You know, obviously that's an old style table, wild card, but, you know, brought up to 2023. So we'll back out, and there's just so many cool things. Even if you're not a huge pinball fan, but you're a fan of certain franchises, like Terminator, for example, you go up here and you play the Terminator one. And not everything has that sort of arcade feel to it. There's other stuff here, you know, that's going to give you a much different experience. So we have VR, of course, which is pretty cool. But let's go into FX3. This is a really cool one. So this is basically an interactive pinball experience. You can see it's obviously not original tables, but it's kind of remixed in a way. Like Back to the Future, one of my favorite tables right here. You can see we have Doc up there. We've got all the characters, but it's interactive. There's like levels to it. It's really a cool experience. And you can find that stuff for a lot of classic stuff like Creatures of the Black Lagoon. E.T. is a cool one. There's Jaws, there's Jurassic Park, there's Jaws right there. There's actually, I think, a couple Jaws. It might not be in FX3, it might be in 2, but this is old school Jurassic Park, but we also have Jurassic World. This is Jurassic Park as well, different table. Jurassic World, really cool game right here. And then you've got all your Marvel stuff. You've got also Star Wars somewhere in here. Moon Knight, awesome one of my favorites here for Marvel. Monster Mash, classic table, but obviously brought to 2023. Lots of amazing stuff. But here's all, if you're a Star Wars fan, you gotta check out the Star Wars ones. Just look at what it looks like there. That's 100% what you get into, and there's all different ones. I mean, all of these are Star Wars. So if you're a Star Wars fan, again, you can't go wrong. Another one of my favorites is right here. Love this one. And then there's a Han Solo one here. Later ones like this one. Just absolutely amazing. So we're going to back out. We'll actually get out of pinball altogether. So the next one over is Game Manual, and this is where we can actually go in and literally just go page by page through classic manuals. So say you're looking for N64. We go over here, we locate N64. Should be in here somewhere. Where are you? There we go. We go in here like this. We open it up and we can go to whatever title we're looking for. So if I want to see WCW NWO Revenge, I just go here and we can literally go page by page through the entire manual. So it's really cool. We're going to back out though of this collection. And next over here is what says collection. And if we jump into this, let it load, you can see we have specific collections. So if you're looking for light gun games, just go in here, locate light gun games. It's going to give you everything on this entire setup that is a light gun game, and it doesn't matter what collection it belongs to. It's going to populate in here. So if we want Area 51 paired with Maximum Force, this is a arcade cabinet I grew up on. You go in here, launch right into it. We can go in here and find Alien 3 The Gun. We can find Area 51 for PlayStation. We can go in here and find all these different titles. Wii games. Attack of the Movies 3D. Pretty cool game there. Kind of like a more modern day throwback. We can go in and find Big Buck Hunter Arcade, and we're going to be able to find that for a couple different collections. I believe that was in Switch. Here we have Big Buck Hunter. I forget which version this is. One of the older ones. Big Buck Hunter Arcade. Tons and tons of stuff. And then we have Big Game Hunter. A lot of these are Wii. And you just scroll through. Carnival. Really awesome game there. I spent a lot of time on that. You know, and it's everything. It's your old school stuff like Chiller, all the way through to modern day light gun games. So we'll back out of that one. 007 collection. So hey, you're a 007 fan. You come in over here, you can enjoy games from pretty much all throughout history, and the art here is phenomenal. I'm a huge Sean Connery fan. That's my favorite James Bond. You go down here, we find GoldenEye. We can go into PlayStation. We can go into James Bond Jr., old school stuff. all the way up to, of course, the modern day stuff. So we'll back out of that, continue on here. Army Men, Arcade, Angry Birds, Alien vs. Predator. Over here we've got Batman collection. So we go in here, we find all the Batman titles from, again, all throughout pretty much gaming history here. Back to the Future, Bomberman. We also have another Batman. BioShock, boxing games, Call of Duty, Looney Tunes, Crash Bandicoot, Disney, Donkey Kong, driving games, Final Fantasy. You'll be here all day with that one. God of War, Golden Axe, Harry Potter games, Killer Instinct games, Lego games, Lord of the Rings. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. I gotta check that one out. Mario Kart collection, so all the Mario Karts. Max Payne games, which you're going to find a lot of as well. Mega Man, Metal Gear Solid, Metroid, Monkey Island. We saw a lot of Monkey Islands today. Need for Speed. Just tons of amazing stuff. Pokemon. Spider-Man, Star Wars, Sonic, Super Mario, Tekken, Tomb Raider, UFC, WWE, Zelda, Guitar Hero, Rock Band, all that good stuff. So, back out. Just a cool way to explore games that maybe you didn't even know existed. You know, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you're going to find some stuff in there I guarantee you didn't know actually existed. Homebrew. Really cool stuff here for Homebrew. So you're going to find all your hacks here in Homebrew. So MAME hacks go in here. And we go upwards. Find tons and tons of stuff here. Street Fighter hacks. I mean, there's tons and tons of them. Metal Slug hacks. Amazing stuff here. Amiga hacks. Amstrad. Contra mods. Dreamcast prototypes. All types of prototypes, hacks, N64 hacks. Let's go into N64 hacks here. All these Super Mario hacks. Lots of really cool ones too. Some very interesting ones, to say the least, as well, will be found in here. So we'll back out. N64 HD. Take a look at that one. We saw that earlier, but highly recommend this collection. NES hacks, PlayStation hacks, prototypes, just tons and tons of stuff. Wii hacks. Let's just take a look at that. And it looks like it's mostly Mario stuff here. I haven't been in here much. So we'll back out. We'll get out of the Homebrew altogether.
Goodbye.
Over here we have Hyperspin, we have Settings, and we have Entertainment. We'll take a peek inside Entertainment, actually. Entertainment is a really cool way to actually, get the most out of your experience here as well. Of course, you've got Cody in here, but lots of other stuff as well. So we've got music in here, magazine book center, comic book, vintage game commercials, really cool stuff in there. I actually jumped in there quite a bit and was just kind of going down memory lane, experiencing, some of those old school game commercials that, we grew up on. So lots of cool stuff to explore in here. We'll back out of this collection though, and that is going to actually do it here. So here we are back here. This is going to be how we shut this down at the end. Oops, I scrolled over too far. This is our power button. This is the best way to shut everything down when you're done gaming. All right, guys, I told you this was going to be crazy, and it definitely is crazy. 96 terabytes is massive. We can see what it entails here. It consists of 6 different drives, 5 bundled together, of course, which get connected via USB 3 connection to your PC. And then you have that one separate one, which they recommend installing internally inside of your PC. That's exactly what I did on my HP Pavilion Gaming PC. Great experience here. Now, I won't say this is plug and play. Plug and play to me means that you simply plug something in and you're able to jump into games right off the bat without any, further setup or installation. That's not the case here. There is a very specific setup process that you do need to follow to the T, but it's actually pretty straightforward. It seemed like it was going to be a lot to take on, in all honesty, when I first just took a glance at it. They do send you a manual. They also recommend you go to their Discord, but everything is accessible from that separate hard drive. There's a wiki in there. It walks you through the whole process. You can watch videos on how to do it. Just very thorough, very easy to follow. And in the end, it took me about maybe 35 minutes to set everything up, but it was really just as simple as just double clicking and waiting for things to install. So very straightforward here, but the performance on this is incredible. Now, when I saw Xbox Series X and PS5, PS4, PS3 even, I thought, okay, these are probably added, or Nintendo Switch is another one that blew my mind. I figured these are added to kind of give a wow factor. We've seen that in the past with setups where, they do this to just kind of wow people, to suck them in, and then they don't pan out in the end. So I kind of figured, all right, there's going to be some disconnect here. Maybe 1 out of, 10 titles works. Not the case. Everything performed extremely well that I tested out. Now, I can't say that every single game on here works. There's absolutely no way for anybody to test out every single game on here. But from what I've seen, what I've experienced, absolutely insane amount of performance in here and just reliability. Everything is super clean. You can tell so much work and attention to detail has gone into this setup, just from every single screen, menu option, everything that is put into this is just top notch. It's tiers above anything else I've ever seen before, and I've seen some amazing stuff out there. In fact, I've put together some pretty cool stuff. The most I've ever put together, though, was 4 terabytes, and I was pretty impressed by it. This is 96 terabytes. 96. Insane, incredible, just absolutely amazing. And to have full, complete collections, plus mods, plus translations, plus imports, plus you name it, it's in here. Manuals. I mean, the entertainment stuff on here is incredible. It's just an all-in-one system with the emphasis of all-in-one. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. And PS5 ran super smooth on my PC that is powerful, but it's not the top of the line gaming PC option out there by any means. Worked super well on here. And I tested out the Spider-Man games, just an incredible experience on there to play PS5 games on a PC through emulation, which I didn't even know was possible. So just absolutely incredible. Now, another really cool thing about this setup is it's updatable. You don't have to worry about something being out of date or anything like that. So it's cool to see something with attention to detail that plans for the future, because so many times I've put together my own builds on, Batocera, for example, where it's like you pour so much of your time into Batocera 35 just in time for Batocera 36 to come out. And you end up with something that's now outdated, and when you update it over there anyways, you'd update, but you end up with some disconnect where stuff you set up in the past no longer works in the latest version. None of that happens here. One-click update, you bring everything up to speed, but you don't have to worry about, past things falling apart or not working anymore. So really cool experience here. Love the attention to detail, and of course, complete collections. Like literally, you have an Xbox original console at your fingertips. You have a Nintendo Switch at your fingertips, PS4, PS5, Xbox 360, Dreamcast, GameCube. All this stuff is literally in this enclosure here, ready to go, attach it to your PC, and you're off and running. It's just mind-blowing that this is possible in 2023, and that it is so smooth in terms of performance and reliability. So let me know what you guys thought of this crazy build, emphasis on crazy, here from Chris Coolmod. RetroBeast, 96 terabytes. Let me know what you guys thought of what you saw here in the video, and I will be doing some videos in the future with some demos and stuff like that. Again, I just left out demos here in this video just in an effort to keep this a little bit shorter. But that's going to do it for today. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Be sure to give me a thumbs up on the video today if you enjoyed the content, and of course, hit subscribe right here on the Retro Gaming Guy YouTube channel for all future videos that will be coming out very soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.